Hello, Matajiman, you're watching Morning Pulse on Onbill TV. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday hailed the appointment of Nitin Nabin as PJP national president, saying that when it comes to the party, Nitin Nabin is the boss and he himself is a mere party worker. Addressing a gathering at the PJP headquarters in the national capital, PM Modi congratulated Nabin on being elected president of what he described as the world's largest political party and said his responsibility goes beyond managing the PJP. Highlighting the importance of the coming decades, PM Modi said the next 25 years are very important. This is a period when a developed India is to be built and it is destined to happen. He expressed confidence that Nitin Nabin would carry forward the party's legacy.
राजनाथ जी के नेतृत्व में पहली बार बीजेपी ने अपने दम पर पूर्ण बहुमत हासिल किया। फिर अमित भाई के नेतृत्व में देश के अनेक राज्यों में भाजपा की सरकारें बनी। लगातार दूसरी बार केंद्र में बीजेपी की सरकार बनी। फिर जेपी नड्डा जी के नेतृत्व में भाजपा पंचायत से लेकर पार्लियामेंट तक और सशक्त हुई। केंद्र में लगातार तीसरी बार भाजपा एनडीए की सरकार बनी। मैं पूर्व के सभी अध्यक्षों का उनके अमूल्य योगदान के लिए देश के कोटि कोटि कार्यकर्ताओं की तरफ से और मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूं। साथियों, आप जानते हैं आज भाजपा का जितना फोकस संगठन के विस्तार पर है, उतनी ही बड़ी प्राथमिकता कार्यकर्ता के निर्माण की भी है। भाजपा एक ऐसी पार्टी है जहां लोगों को लगता होगा कि नरेंद्र मोदी देश के प्रधानमंत्री है, तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बने, 50 साल की छोटी आयु में मुख्यमंत्री बन गए, 25 साल से लगातार हेड ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट रहे हैं। ये सब अपनी जगह पे हैं, लेकिन इन सबसे भी बड़ी चीज मेरे जीवन में है, मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कार्यकर्ता हूं। ये सबसे बड़ा गर्व है। और जब बात पार्टी के विषयों को आती है, तब माननीय नितिन नबीन जी, मैं एक कार्यकर्ता हूं, वे मेरे बॉस हैं।
As India anticipates the 2026 Union Budget, Punjab National Bank Managing Director and CEO Ashok Chandra expects a continued focus on infrastructure development, micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs and rural growth. Speaking to NI, Chandra highlighted the government's consistent prioritization of these sectors in recent budgets. Chandra emphasized that MSMEs, rural infrastructure and capital expenditure have been pivotal areas that foster entrepreneurship and attract market capital. Discussing the bank's highest ever quarterly profits, he credited the focus on core segments such as MSME retail and agriculture lending, citing significant growth rates across these categories. Despite the challenges posed by a 125 basis point repo rate cut, which impacted profitability, BNP has made strides through strong recoveries and new vertical initiatives. The introduction of luxury credit cards and enhanced cash management services, coupled with effective slippage management, has helped improve the bank's financial health amidst evolving economic conditions.
Sir, PNB has recorded its highest ever quarterly profit of around 5,100 crore. What were the key drivers that contributed to this landmark performance, which is the first ever highest quarterly profit, sir?
Yes, one is focus on the core activity, that is the MSME, retail, and agri. If you see our performance, MSME is growing more than 19%. Retail housing is growing more than 15%. Vehicle loan is growing more than 35%. Agri is growing at 10 to 11%. And this momentum has been there in the Q1, Q2, and this Q3 also. So what we envisaged in the beginning of the financial year, that let us drive the business through the branches. And that has really started working very well for the profitability angle. That is one part. Second part is this quarter, the recovery has also supported in a very, very big way. Total recovery in this quarter is 4,090 crore, almost 4,100 crore. And in that, technical right of recovery is 1,900 crore. So these two things has played very, very important role. Third aspect for which the bank has put focus is, one is supply chain vertical, which we have created in this particular year now. Almost 4 months back, we have created the full digital stack. And today we have the tie-up arrangement with many of the vehicle manufacturers in the country, through which we are funding the dealers and vehicle vendors. So that has started working very well. We have already created a sanction pool of 4,500 crore under the supply chain. Second important vertical which we have created is the cash management services, which is the corporate receivables and the receivable management of NBFC. We had a good exposure under NBFC, but we were not doing that activity in the bank. So for that also we created a full digital roadmap, and then that vertical has also been started, headed by one general manager. And third thrust which we have put it on the credit card business now. And you must have heard that we have launched a premium segment credit card, PNB Luxera. And this we are putting it and positioning it in the country in the very high segment. So these are the activities, new activities, which the bank has started in this financial year. And we are going to scale it up in the next year. All these things put together has contributed a lot in not only maintaining a good operating profit. You have seen in the first quarter of this financial year, first time we crossed 7,000 crore of operating profit. Then second quarter it was 7,227, and this quarter also more than 7,400 crore. And this is going to continue for the quarters to come now. And that has also helped us in maintaining a good.
On Tuesday in Sribhumi, drugs worth Rs 55 crore 53 lakh 70,000 were destroyed. DC's drugs collected from various police stations in the district were destroyed by the Sribhumi district police team on the orders of the court. This large-scale drug destruction program was fully carried out at a brick kiln in the Sharif Nagar area of Sribhumi. In a total of 81 operations, drugs valued at more than Rs 55 crore were recovered from 131 drug suppliers and peddlers. The destroyed drugs included heroin, brown sugar, yaba tablets, cough syrup and ganja. In the presence of top officials from the Sribhumi district administration and police, this huge quantity of prohibited drugs was completely destroyed.
কিন্তু কনভিকশনৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত দেখা যায় যে কনভিকশনখিনি ঠিকমতে নহয় এবং যিসকল দোষী আছে তেওঁলোক কেতিয়াবা এই আইনৰ সংঘাতি ওলাই যায়।
ড্ৰাগছৰ ধৰা কামতো পুলিচে সেইটো সদায় সতৰ্ক হৈ আছে, বহুত ধৰি আছে। আপোনালোকে দেখি আছে লাষ্ট ফিউ ইয়াৰ্ছত শ্ৰীভূমি পুলিচৰ কিমানখিনি ড্ৰাগছ ধৰিবলৈ ছাকচেছফুল হৈছে, বহুত আছামী এৰেষ্ট হৈছে। আৰু এইটো নো ওৱান ইজ পাৰফেক্ট। চ' আমাৰ 100টা ড্ৰাগছ কেছত কেতিয়াবা এজন দুজন মানুহ তাতে হাৰি যায়। চ' টেকনিকেল প্ৰব্লেমছ কিছুমান থাকে, কেছ যেতিয়া উঠে ট্ৰায়েল কোৰ্টত টেকনিকেল প্ৰব্লেমছো থাকে। চ' সেইবোৰ কাৰণত হয়, কিন্তু আল্টিমেটলি যিমান ড্ৰাগছৰ যিমান ৰিলেটেড ড্ৰাগ পেডলাৰ্ছ থাকে, সেই গোটেইখিনিক আমি এবাৰ হাৰি গ'লেও নেক্সট টাইম আকৌ আমি ধৰাৰ চেষ্টাটো সদায় থাকে, আৰু তেওঁলোক তেনেকৈ ধৰাও পৰে। আৰু আপোনালোকে জানে NDPSত এটাতকৈ বেছি দুটাতকৈ বেছি কেছ থাকিলে আমি তেওঁলোকক ডিটেইন কৰিব পাৰোঁ। সেই তেনেকুৱা বহুত আছে এক্সাম্পল। চ' এটা কেছত তেওঁলোকে বেইল পালে বা তেওঁলোকে একুইট হৈ গ'লে যে সেইখিনি তাতে শেষ হ'ব, তেনেকুৱা কোনো কথা নাথাকে। যদি আমি কনভিন্স থাকোঁ যে সেই আছামীয়ে ড্ৰাগছ পেডলিঙত ইনভলভ থাকে, we can take further cases. আজি আছিলে হেৰইন আছে হেৰইন আপোনাৰ ইয়াতে লিখা আছে 5 kg 315 grams, ইয়াবা টেবলেটছ more than 9 lakh tablets, more than 300 kg of ganja আৰু more than 47,000 fentanyl cough syrup.
বিগত দিনত দেখা গৈছিলে এই ড্ৰাগছ জব্দ হোৱাৰ পিছত যিসকল ড্ৰাগছৰ লগত জড়িত তেওঁলোকৰ সম্পত্তি জব্দ হৈছিল। আপুনি অহাৰ পিছত এনেকুৱা
আমি সেইটো চেষ্টা চলাই আছোঁ, কাৰণ যিহেতু ড্ৰাগছৰ কেছ কণ্টিনিউৱাছ পুলিচে কেছ লৈয়ে থাকে, তেওঁলোকো বহুত মানুহ ইউজ কৰে যাৰ নামত কোনো প্ৰপাৰ্টি নাথাকে, তেতিয়া আমাৰ সেইটো অসুবিধা হয় এছেটছ চিজ কৰিবলৈ। বা যোনকেইটাত আমি পাওঁ যে তেওঁলোকৰ নামত প্ৰপাৰ্টি আছে আৰু যোনকেইজন ড্ৰাগছৰ কেছে ডাইৰেক্টলি লিংক থাকে তেওঁলোকৰ প্ৰপাৰ্টি জব্দ কৰিবলৈ আমাৰ ইজি হৈ যায়।
Punjab steps up its crackdown on organized crime under the War on Gangsters campaign. Punjab DGP Gaurav Yadav has said that Chief Minister Bhagwan Mann has issued clear instructions that gangsters will not be tolerated in the state. Acting on these directions, Punjab Police has launched a statewide intelligence-driven offensive against organized crime. According to the DGP, a 72-hour special operation has been initiated with over 12,000 police personnel conducting coordinated raids at nearly 2,000 locations across Punjab. The Chief Minister is personally monitoring the operation to ensure strict enforcement.
तो सीएम साहब ने दिशा निर्देश हमें दिए हैं कि ये पंजाब में गैंगस्टर्स को टॉलरेट नहीं किया जाएगा, गैंगस्टरिज्म टॉलरेट नहीं किया जाएगा। पंजाब में गैंगस्टर्स के लिए कोई जगह नहीं है। इसके बाद सीएम साहब के दिशा निर्देशों के बाद हमने एक स्ट्रेटजी बनाई है। आज से गैंगस्टर्स पे वॉर ऑन गैंगस्टर्स हैज बीन लॉन्च्ड। आज 72 घंटे का एक ऑपरेशन लॉन्च हुआ है। इसके पहले चरण में जो 12,000 पुलिस ऑफिसर्स तकरीबन 2,000 लोकेशंस पे रेड कर रहे हैं। हमने जो 60 मेन जो गैंगस्टर्स के सरगने बाहर बैठे हैं वो ये ना समझे कि वो महफूज हैं। उनके जितने यहाँ पे साथी हैं, उनके फैमिली मेंबर्स हैं, उनको चिन्हित करके उन पे रेड्स किए जा रहे हैं, उन पर लीगल कार्रवाई करी जाएगी। एक हम मल्टी प्रोंग्ड अटैक करेंगे गैंगस्टर्स पे, जो सीएम साहब खुद इसको मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं, जिसमें हम बाहर बैठे गैंगस्टर्स को वापस ले आने के लिए हमने एक आईजी रैंक के ऑफिसर आशीष चौधरी जी के अंडर एक सेल बनाया है, जिसमें हमारे सभी ऑपरेशनल विंग्स के ऑफिसर्स होंगे। सेंट्रल एजेंसी से तालमेल किया जाएगा। हमारे 60 में से 23 गैंगस्टर्स के जो रेड कॉर्नर नोटिस इशू हो चुके हैं या इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ बीइंग इशूड है। बाकी 37 के हम सारा डॉक्यूमेंटेशन पूरा करके 3 महीने में हम इनके रेड नोटिस इशू कराएंगे। एक जीरो टॉलरेंस पॉलिसी टुवर्ड्स ऑर्गेनाइज क्राइम होगी। क्रिमिनल फाइनेंसिंग पे क्रैकडाउन किया जाएगा। एंटायर इकोसिस्टम ऑफ क्राइम, फाइनेंसिंग, द सपोर्ट सिस्टम, लॉजिस्टिक्स, वेपन सप्लाई चेन्स, एवरीथिंग विल बी बस्टेड। और हम 107 बीएनएस का इस्तेमाल करेंगे। अटैचमेंट ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी होगी, वेदर इट इज यूज फॉर फाइनेंसिंग ऑफ क्राइम और लॉन्ड्रिंग ऑफ प्रोसीड्स ऑफ क्राइम। सो पंजाब में गैंगस्टर्स के लिए कोई जगह नहीं है। एक हमने एक एंटी गैंगस्टर हेल्पलाइन आज से चालू करी है। तो मैं लोगों को एनकरेज करूंगा कि वो राउंड द क्लॉक 24/7 वो एंटी गैंगस्टर हेल्पलाइन एक्टिव रहेगी और उस पे आप इंफॉर्मेशन दें, खुल के दें। आपकी आइडेंटिटी वो सीक्रेट रखी जाएगी। एक हमने रिवॉर्ड पॉलिसी, पंजाब गवर्नमेंट ने 10 करोड़ सैंक्शन किए हैं रिवॉर्ड्स के लिए, जिसमें हमने कोई भी क्रिमिनल के बारे में कोई इंफॉर्मेशन देता है कोई व्यक्ति, अगर उससे उसकी अरेस्ट में मदद मिलती है तो अप टू 1 लाख रिवॉर्ड जो है वो एसएसपीज देंगे, 1.5 लाख तक डीआईजीज और कमिश्नर्स ऑफ पुलिस, 2 लाख तक हमारे एडीजीपी, एजीटीएफ और 2 लाख से ऊपर डीजीपी। मैक्सिमम कैप हमने 10 लाख इस पे रखी है और इस पे हम बहुत लिबरल तरीके से रिवॉर्ड्स करेंगे। सिमिलरली एनडीपीएस एक्ट में 60,000 रुपए पर किलो हेरोइन सीजर पे रिवॉर्ड दिया जाएगा, 40,000 रुपए पर प्रॉपर्टी फ्रीजिंग पे रिवॉर्ड दिया जाएगा। तो डिफरेंट हमने स्लैब्स बनाई है। जो पुलिस अफसर अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं उन्हें इनकरेज किया जाएगा। पुलिस अफसर पाया गया जो इन्वॉल्व है तो पुलिस अफसर को एज अ गैंगस्टर ट्रीट किया जाएगा। अगर वो क्राइम में इन्वॉल्व है उसे गिरफ्तार किया जाएगा, उसके खिलाफ डिपार्टमेंटल एक्शन होगा, वो 311 में डिसमिस किया जाएगा।
Social religious organization Sabarimala Karma Samiti held a protest outside Kerala Secretariat demanding a CBI probe into the Sabarimala gold theft on Monday. The international working president of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Alok Kumar, also participated in the protest. National Vice Chairman of the Sabarimala Karma Samiti, SJR Kumar, alleged deliberate destructions of Sabarimala and the Hindu religion. He further asserted that an investigation into the Sabarimala gold theft should be handed over to either the CBI or some other independent agency. These protests are being held in the wake of the arrest of former Travancore Devaswam Board DDP, members of KP Sankardas, who was detained by the Special Investigation Team SIT in connection with the Sabarimala gold theft case. The arrest was formally recorded at the private hospital where he has been undergoing treatment for the past few days. According to police sources, the Kollam Vigilance Court was informed of the arrest. The Special Investigation Team will shift from the private hospital to the Thiruvananthapuram Medical College Hospital for further medical care and custody.
So, but people are bent upon destroying Sabarimala, destroying Hindu religion, Sanadharma. We are hearing a lot of noise against Sabarimala, against Sanadharma and all that. So this is the atmosphere. So based on that, we are trying many things, and we are getting a lot of reports about how this Devasam Board is managing the Devasam Board temples, especially in Travancore. Also in Cochin, there are 5 Devasam Board. Everywhere it is happening because all these Devasam Boards are politically appointed. So the government in power, they always appoint these people who are well known to them, irrespective of whether they are believers or not. But as per the law, even the Travancore, Cochin, Devasam Hindu Place of Public Worship Act, it is very well clearly mentioned. The person who is appointed to the Devasam Board, because they are going to manage it, they should be a believer, they should be a devotee, like that. But can you say any one of this? I don't believe. And it was happening for so many years, except for the first appointment in 1949, where Mannathu Padmanabhan and R. Shankar were there. But subsequently, it became all political appointment. So this is the scenario. So every temple managed by Devasam Board, there is many different kinds of theft, malpractices, and lot of things happening, lot of missing things happening. So this is there. So ultimately, when in 2025, September 7th, when Prashant was Devasam Board president, the report came from Jayakrishnan, that is Justice Jayakrishnan, who is the Special Commissioner. He has reported that certain gold covered items are missing. That is why it came to light. So he has unearthed, along with the Devasam vigilance initially, and also the Devasam bench of Honorable High Court, they have dug into the case and found that it has been happening for quite some time, right from 2019, and so many instances, doors removed, door frames removed, Dwarabala Vigrahas removed, and so many idols missing. These kind of things happen. So it is such a serious dimension, and I think it will be noted in history. I am telling you. Somnath Temple, you know that, in 1006, and in fact this is the 1000th year, and a lot of gold was missing, gold was stolen. So such a happening in Sabarimala, so definitely it will be written in the history in the whole world that this loot is not a small loot. Thousands of crores of worth gold has been looted. So far we don't know the dimension. The inquiry is still going on. That is one thing. Anyway, to cut short, see, the inquiry is entrusted with SIT assigned by the Honorable High Court. But initially itself we knew that the SIT is formed from the Kerala police. So how much they can get involved in this? Because there is always a political power, control. So, and we said that time, even I have written to the additional Chief Secretary. He is in charge of Home. I have written him, cannot be genuine, properly done, and definitely it has to be handed over to the CBI or some agency like that, independent. But they have heard. But now, I think any common man has come to know that the SIT is not impartial. They are very partial, especially in arrest. You know, Shankar Das. Even the Supreme Court said, you know, I don't know how to say that comment. But he was scot-free. That time Tandri was arrested. Tandri was never in any case. And High Court has mentioned so many names. You arrest those people, Even Prashant, even Kadakampalli Surendran. But they not trust them. But some person who is deity's close, associate, or according to Hindu Dharma, temple belief, Tandri has got a very high esteem, very high place. So such a person was intentionally arrested. One thing, to divert attention, because election is coming. So they want to divert the attention from the political CPM leaders who are in the jail and who are subsequently going to be in the jail to a person related with the deity or a belief system. Again, I am telling you, it was like 2000. So that is one thing. Second thing, actually, see, another thing, there is absolutely no way to align him with this case, because even in the remand report, if you look at this, there is absolutely nothing which can relate. There are 11 pages remand report I have gone through. There is absolutely nothing. And one thing they are saying, he has broken the belief system. How? That means the first person who to be arrested for that is Pinarayi Vijayan, who broke the belief system in 2018. Moreover, there is no provision for the belief things or any such things in the IPC or even BNS. So there is no provision. So see, that kind of flimsy ground they have arrested, and he has taken around and he has recovered Vaji Vahanam. So, but now the SIT has to take the Vaji Vahanam and keep it back to his house. That is the thing now, because this there is no rule. 2012, the Devasam Board has come out with a rule that they have no right. But absolutely, the Devasam Board has no right to decide on our rituals and practices. They have to look after only the administrative part, but they have overdone that. So the High Court in 2017, when the Vajivan thing, actually they have appointed Advocate ASP Kurup as a special commissioner to watch the installation of the new Kodimaram, and he has gotten a report that Vajivan was handed over to so and so, all the proceedings, and court has approved it. So who is more powerful, this Devasam Board or court? So that means SIT has broken the rituals. You understood? So this is the thing. So now there are so many things. I don't want to, because there is no time. So the issue is very big. So now we are asking for a CBI inquiry because SIT has proved to be unreliable.
That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.